Okay, so we start under the bottom line on the side of the hand at the base of the pinky, and we're tapping the karate chop point. Even though I'm so freaked out that this is happening to someone I love, and I'm scared, I also accept how I'm feeling right now, and I love myself. Even though I really feel myself freaking out and not being calm, I choose to accept that's where I am, and I love myself. Even though I'm seriously freaked out and I don't see how to calm myself, I do love myself. I want to accept what's happening, and I accept myself in this situation. Now let's go to the crown. We're going to do one round of the negatives. So it could look something like this. I'm really freaking out and I'm really upset. Inner eyebrow. And I'm really resisting what's happening. I'm really pushing against it. I do see that. Outer eye. And I'd like to be much calmer. I'd like to feel stable in this moment. And moments like this. And definitely breathe when you're not speaking as you do the tapping. So under the eye, top of the cheekbone. I'm judging myself some for not being calm and clear. I'd really like not to. Under the nose. And right now I notice some ways I'm judging others in the situation. What they're doing, how they're communicating, whatever it is. Chin point. I'd like to not judge myself for judging them. And I'd like to not be so stuck in the idea that I'm right about what I think is wrong. Okay, under the round at the end of the clavicle. My mind is all over the place. I'm scaring myself with imaginings. I'd like to not scare myself this way, but I am doing that. Side of the ribs. I feel like I don't really remember the right things to do in moments like this. And maybe I don't have the discipline to stay with anything that comes to me. And I'd really like to not fault myself for any of this. So we're back to the crown, and now we're going to reach for better feeling thoughts, and we're going to soothe ourselves, and we're going to reach for what we want to believe and how we want to talk to ourselves. So, okay, others have freaked out even worse in moments like this. I've experienced greater freak out. Again, breathe when you're not talking. Take it in. Inner eyebrow. I'd like to welcome myself to the human race. Everything I'm feeling is normal. Side of the eye. Everything I'm thinking is normal. Under the eye. I'd really like to not believe my thoughts so much. Under the nose. I would like to slow down and manage my thoughts better. But I don't want to give myself grief for being in a process. Chin point. I'm going to start with the body and just breathe for a moment. So breathe while you tap. Under the clavicle round. Right now, I feel my body from the inside, just dropping into the belly. I'm taking a moment to feel the agitation. And I'm breathing into it to soothe it. Side of the ribs. It's okay if my breath is shallow and jagged. I don't need to predict or manage how quickly it becomes smooth and slow. And right now, I just empower myself with knowing I can be with it. I can witness and feel it. I can slow down the out breath. Let it be longer than the in breath. Okay, back to the crown. Right now, I'm just going to tap this point and breathe in that way. I use my power to control my own nervous system, at least somewhat. Inner eyebrow. I'd like to remember to do this more often and earlier in a process, and repeatedly through a process. Outer eye. Coming back to the breath and body again and again. Right now, feeling the breath and managing a slower out breath. Under the eye. I'd like to stay with the body and out of the head for a while. Under the nose. From the body, I'd like to remember the heart before I start strategizing and problem solving. Of course, I can still do something if it comes to me to put in a call or start heading somewhere. Chin point. But I'm just going to take a moment to breathe into the lungs with a hand on the heart space. And just be with my emotional center. Under the clavicle round, and you're welcome to drop that hand down. I just want to take a moment to tune in to the emotional content here. I'm scared. I'm worried. I love someone. I'm not sure if they're okay. The love is bigger than the fear. The love is all that matters. The love is fully here even when I'm agitated. I am love. I like remembering that. Side of the ribs. I'd like to come back to the head after I've visited body and heart. I don't want to just believe all my scariest thoughts. Crown point. I'd like to remember earlier and more often that if I'm scared and pushing against a situation, I'm pushing against source and my inner being. Inner eyebrow. Right now, I'm remembering that pushing against never serves me. It makes me contracted. It disconnects me from source. Outer eye. That also disconnects me from guidance, from inspired action, from clear things to say or ask. Out under the eye. Just right now, I acknowledge, I take in that when I feel horrible and horribly agitated, I am disconnected from source. Under the nose. When I'm pushing against what's happening in reality, I'm disconnecting from source. Chin point. When I think it's not okay for what's actually happening to be happening, I'm disconnected from reality. I'm disconnecting from the truth of human reality, experience, existence. I'm disconnecting from source. Under the clavicle round. Right now, I acknowledge that answers and guidance and solutions want to come to me. Every time. Right now. Side of the ribs. I block that guidance when I'm pushing against and believing my negative thoughts. Crown point. This will be our last round. Right now, I remember that every moment I am in my dance with consciousness. Inner eyebrow. At every moment, life is happening as it's happening. Outer eye. At every moment, whatever is happening is normal human stuff to be happening here on planet Earth. Under the eye. And I acknowledge that so much goes right, that there's so much beauty, that there's so much to get inspired and excited about, that there are so many beautiful experiences to be had, so many flavors to savor, so much love to flow to me and through me and out of me and back and forth. Under the nose, all my dance with consciousness. Every face I meet, a face of God. Not just human faces. Dog faces and tree faces and cloud faces and bird faces and rock faces and water faces. I love this dance. Chin point. And I would love to not lose track of the fact that sometimes the dance doesn't feel good or isn't what I wanted or what my preference is. And that's okay. Under the clavicle round. And just right now, and I already forgive myself for when I forget it again, I remember that in the hard moments too, I am consciousness dancing with consciousness. Side of the ribs. And the right communication will happen. And the knowns and the unknowns will be what they are. And various faces of God will appear with information and support and comfort. And I will think of things to do. I will sometimes just know what to do. And I will aim roughly in the right direction. And I will calm myself. And I will counter my scary thoughts with wise thoughts, with calming thoughts. And I will be okay. And never will Source leave me. We end on the crown point. I love myself. I approve of myself. I am willing to walk myself through hard things. I'm in awe of my marvelous guidance system and the orchestrating intelligence of the universe. And when I'm not getting to the people I want to get to, or when things aren't unfolding the way I want them to, or in the timing I want, I vow to keep noticing all that supports me. I vowed not to abandon myself, which includes that I do calm myself. And I vow to seek to open to connection to consciousness and source and guidance and the soothing balm of the breath. Now drop your hands down and just cup one inside the other on your lap and just breathe. And feel the reverberations of the tapping. Let it all sink in. Connect to the breath and just notice how the breath feels now versus when you began. And take note of anything that was said during the tapping that you might need to look at again that felt like it didn't go down smoothly, or you're not there yet, or you resisted, or whatever. You'd like more work on it. And then you can literally note it down when this is complete.